G'day friends, it's Lance Klessig out here today on the rented farm. Actually brought Chatty with me. We're getting ready to haul some goats to butcher. But wanted to take a moment to kind of just showcase. So this again, if you haven't seen our videos, or this is a farm that we rented and ran some pretty high stock densities. You can see some of the stuff was pretty mature. And we had it underseeded with some red clover, and I think there might have been a little white in there, but so this was Sierra rye, and then it was grazed, and it had some hairy vetch, and then we grazed it, most of it twice, some of it over here on that piece was 3 times. But yeah, and we got this seeded first part of June, I suppose, and it was a, I don't know, 6 to 8, probably 10-way mix. But here's what's persisting back. So this is some annual rye grass, and then again the clover. We've got pretty decent armor. Here's some nice middens, as you can see these here. And you know, usage on the feed, you know, we left some feed out here, and yet that's okay, because we also have, you know, we have some, here's some earthworms in here, there's some little grubs. That's okay, we don't want to take everything. And again, this was a mixture of millets, a couple different millets, sorghum Sudan, some Sudan straight up. We had buckwheat. Trying to think what else. I forget. You'd have to refer back to a couple of the other videos, but I just want you to take a look at this. You know, put my hand down here. There's a, you know, the clover's not, you know, it's not every 3 inches, but it's pretty thick, right? And I don't know when this is, you know, what's going to happen to this farm. We're still kind of actually waiting around, but we're capturing solar energy, right? There's live plants here. Is it perfect? No, it's not. But let's just walk with me. I got to find Chatty anyway. Chatty, come here, Chit Chat. Oh, there she is. She's about ready to have babies. She's getting a little bit, she's bagging up, aren't you, Chatty? She's attacking it. That's a girl. But I just want you to compare and contrast, all right? See the white post fiber, actually gray? It's right where my water line went. We grazed this way, poly wire, poly braid, split it. Grazed this field, that field, and there's one other big ridge field. There's a big draw that comes down where those trees are, all the way down. 30 some acres of what we call tillable land, which I actually hate that word, but we'll just call it cropland. What you doing there, sweetie? Oh, she's nipping and biting. So anyway, I want you to look at, just compare it, okay? There's some life over here. There's some perennial cover. Here's the line. There's even some trees, right? Here's some rye that volunteered. But then look here, and this is no cut on this. I mean, the renter here on this part of the farm is actually a pretty good friend. Just talked to him on the phone today. But if you look at soil structure, I didn't bring my shovel, but there's not a lot of stuff going on here, and it just breaks apart. And over here, if I had the shovel, we'd see some differences. I can guarantee you that. Look at all the hairy. Oh, hairy vetch. That'll make some good cattle feed. So again, this isn't a bad versus good. This is a difference of management here to here. This here was a learning experience for me. I learned a lot, And I'm not afraid to do it again, but I would have to charge considerably more money to custom graze it. And I don't see much in there. So you live and learn, you take a risk. This is an adjoining farm to ours, and we had the opportunity, so let's run it. Here you can see not much. Why? Right here, you see that? Cow tank, or water line going this way. There was 1,800, I think there's 2,100 feet that runs straight north. So, you know, lots of impact. So, but anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, is just the difference of management. I don't know what Jim got on corn over here. It was pretty dang good corn, but we did get 2 4-inch rains. One in, what was it? About the 8th, 10th of May. This was all in rye, protected, armored. The rye was, shoot, it was doing good after a cold start. Here's some critters. Look at them. Look at this baby. Oh, he's a nice one. Here's a rototiller. Look at them, all nice and wet in there. Time to go trout fishing. But anyway, this field was armored. This field, not so much. It washed, cut, eroded. Let's just use the right words. And we got another 4-incher the first week of June. And truth be told, I had done a little tillage out here. It's a tool, and didn't want to spray it. So, but anyway, you can see there's not a lot of watershed here, but it doesn't look very good here. Now again, I'm not here to cast blame or shame. There's not that. It's more so let's be willing to think outside the box, you know. There's an opportunity to do some no-till in our covers here, right? There's some opportunity to try to get away, you know, like I said, I worked some of this. Had a neighbor work it for me before we planted it. And I'm not proud of it, but it's part of learning. There's a cost. Whether you go to a soil health oriented workshop or grazing, you know, pasture walk, it's all part of the journey, right? And there's a lot to this, right? I'm trying to get away from pesticides, herbicides, synthetic fertilizers. Here's my guys. Look at, here they are. He's still up here. He thinks this is a pretty good deal. Yeah, they've done a number on that. But I guess what I would say is I'm trying to think differently about this piece of land than maybe this guy over here is. And it is what it is. And I'm just trying to learn alongside others, try some things. This was a negative cash flow experience, but we didn't just look at it from a dollars and cents standpoint. We tried some things, ran custom cows, and learned a lot. So with that, we're gonna load Miss Chatty up, and oh no, you're not gonna get away with that. So yeah, just food for thought. Compare 1, compare 2. And with that, beautiful spring day here, southeast Minnesota. So you guys have a good day, and we will, Chatty and I say goodbye.